And she wrote this song about this earthquake that had happened a couple years ago. And couple of lines are, "So please give me a break from all your complaining about who was mean to you and how your stepdad is a pain. I care, I swear, but not today. All I can think about is tsunamis and earthquakes." And it's basically describes my life, not that I have tsunamis and earthquakes, but it describes how everyone else was kind of here. They were worrying about who liked them in middle school, who did this, who did that, do I have the right clothes, did my parents get me the Christmas presents I wanted? But I was a 9-year-old worrying about death, worrying about the bigger picture. Where am I going to move when my father dies? What am I going to do? And all that gets thrown together into one. And if you've ever had cancer in your family, you know how much that changes your perspective. All these things, all these people, all these situations have kind of molded me and make me who I was. As for school, I think Mima says this, it wasn't all sweetness and light. Being a 9-year-old with such a perspective does not actually help you gain many friends. So I was bullied because of my Christian beliefs. In 7th grade, I was bullied out of school because I stood up for my beliefs. I was bullied for my own stupid decisions. Yes, it happened. I made stupid decisions. And I was also bullied for no reason at all. You know, kids in middle school, I don't know, you might remember, you might not. Kids in middle school are mean. Oh, yeah. But high school, it's even worse, but middle school's mean. And one of the things that I've held on to my entire life was the fact that God has promised me that no matter my situation and no matter what I go through, none of these things are going to be for waste in my life. That is a tough lesson to learn when you're a kid without a father. That all the situations that you're going to go through, you are going to come out the other end, and the refiner's fire in my life was my father getting sick. My father getting sick, my cousin getting sick. I had 2 aunts getting sick, all within a couple of years of each other. My cousin and my father both died. This made up my childhood. And God promised me that no matter what happens, these things will be used. My pain, my suffering, my growing, my deepening as a person, God told me this will not go to waste in my life. And without all these things, I would not have moved to Lacey, Washington, or Olympia area. We moved around. Because of the molding that God has allowed me to experience, because of the growing, because of the changing, I am the person who is flying to South America in 3 days. Now, my best friend and boyfriend, Nathaniel, who's watching me, hi, on the camera, was talking about how strong of a person he thought I was because I could jump into a situation and I wasn't scared. He said I wasn't scared about the culture, I wasn't scared about the food, I wasn't scared about any of these things. And then I went, well, if you put it that way, I'm kind of scared. So I'm heading to South America. I will mainly be studying Spanish, which is not my major at all. I felt a call to go down to South America to study in Ecuador, but Spanish is not my major. I will be one of 6 girls traveling down there, and the only one that is not a Spanish major or minor. My roommate will be a South American. People will travel from all over South America to come to this seminary school in Ecuador because, as far as I know, it's the only one around there. My roommate will not speak English, so we are going to play a giant game of charades until I learn Spanish, so that'll be interesting. And the main part of my travels is I'm going to see if I want to be a full-time missionary for the rest of my life, or a good portion of my life. That's a scary decision to make at the age of 19. I'll be 20 by then, though, so I'll be mature. Yeah. On Thursdays and the weekends, when we're not studying, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday, I'm going to be going into the town of Quito and traveling around Ecuador and partially South America and doing different types of missions. I'm not quite clear on what that is going to be altogether, but we are going to be doing different missions and feeding the people around us, as well as being fed by the culture and by what God is doing in South America. Yeah. But the part that relates to you is I would not be this person without these three people right now. So here's a couple things that you can do, please. Be a part of your kids' and grandkids' lives. They need you to talk to them and to be there for them and to tell them stories of the things you did right and the things that you did wrong. We can grow from that, and we will listen to that, and it will change our lives. If you don't have kids or grandkids, find someone in the church. I had so many friends growing up who did not have the parents, the grandparents, the aunts and uncles that I had, and that needed somebody to be there with them and to help them grow spiritually and help them find their way. If you could just find one person and sit down with them and have coffee with them and see if there's anything that you can do, any prayer that they need, I know it'd mean the world to them if you would just take the time and care about them. Another thing that you can do is give. I personally know that there's a 30-hour famine going on soon, and there are tons of kids around here that are trying to get people to sponsor them for 30 hours of not eating so they can send the money to Africa for food. If you could just sponsor a kid, this is so hard to be that young and raise money. And I'm so proud of those kids for trying. There are different camps that are going on, and camp is so important to kids. If you could help them in their trip there, they can't do it by themselves, and they need help. And, of course, there are people going on missions trips. Mine's more of schooling. But missions trips, these things change people's lives, and if you could help them by sponsoring them, that would be such a big thing in their lives, although it would seem like such a little thing at the time. And the last thing would be to be open what God has for you in your lives. I know this is an older adult group, but the situations that you've been through, the fire and the molding that you've been throughout your lives, however long or short that's been, it's important, and God's not finished with that yet. And just know that whatever fire you go through, that God will redeem it and bring His will throughout your life. Can I pray real quick? Yeah?
Do you want to say something?
Dear Lord, thank you for this day. Thank you for the opportunity to share some of my story with these lovely people here. I thank you for the opportunity to go to South America and to learn more about you through my experiences and to find you in another country and to tell other people about you. Please bless everybody in this room. Help them to figure out where they fit into this story and what they can do. Thank you for letting me be here. Amen.
Amen. Thank you.
Thank you. It's good to have your granddaughter here to hold me up. Thank you, Dena. It was very nice. She didn't say, but where she be living is 9,000 feet altitude. There, so it's up on the top where we have a seminary there, and that's where they'll stay most of the time. I think that you will be staying sometimes in homes, won't you? Or?
I don't think
Okay.
so. That's not part of our program.
Right. I thought it was, but anyhow.
Just what
But thank you, and thank you for being here. Anybody else have something to say? You've got something.